When I think of John Lewis, I think of the inspiring giant that he was. He'll inspire people to make good trouble, to fight for justice and equality, and to march.
Today we're going to be reading from the book March, Book 1, by John Lewis, Andrew Aden, and Nate Powell. In the summer of 1951, I took my first trip north. Otis Carter, one of my mother's brothers, arranged the journey. He planned it completely for my sake. He lived in Dothan, about 60 miles south of us, where he was a teacher and a school principal.
Uncle Otis had always taken a special interest in me, especially as I began to grow and stand out a little bit, not just with my schoolwork, but with the way I generally acted. I wore a tie often, and some of the grown-ups teased me about that, telling me I dressed like a preacher. I know that Uncle Otis saw something in me that I hadn't seen yet. That is why we took our trip in June of '51.
There would be no restaurants for us to stop at until we were well out of the South. So we carried our restaurant right in the car with us. Stopping for gas and bathroom breaks took careful planning. Uncle Otis had made this trip before, and he knew which places along the way offered colored bathrooms.
Alabama, Tennessee, Kentucky. These were the states we had to be careful in as we made our way north. Black drivers we passed going the other direction from north to south faced an added danger, their license plates making them visible targets. It wasn't until we got into Ohio that I could feel Uncle Otis relax. And so I relaxed too.
When we reached my Uncle OC's and Jink's house, I couldn't believe it. They had white people living next door to them, on both sides. My Aunt Leola and Aunt May Charles took me shopping downtown one day at a department store called Stadler's. And there, for the first time in my life, I rode an escalator. I'd never even heard of such a thing. I found my way into the candy counter, and it was like magic.
By late August, when it was time to return home to Alabama, I was more than ready. I missed my brothers and sisters. I missed my parents. When I finally arrived home, I was crying because it felt so good to be back.
After that trip, home never felt the same, and neither did I. In the fall, I started riding the bus to school, which should have been fun, but it was just another sad reminder of how different our lives were from those of white children.